everybody. I'm like take 100 on trying to do this. I was trying to do some more of my what we used to call them more gin and spin videos where I would just kind of have topics that I thought were pertinent or interesting or whatever that I just wanted to talk about. And then I would spin yarn and we would talk about them. And I always enjoyed everybody's comments. And sometimes I had other people with me, but that's hard to coordinate in the middle of the day. And full disclosure, I was I was experimenting with trying to film this from the back camera because I'm always trying to evolve and learn things. And so I got a new phone because my other one died. It was fantastic. So I'm excited. I was trying to use the back camera on this one. So I was like, that'll be great. My quality will be amazing. I'm gonna do it. And so I've decided that I don't know, this is just stupid. I feel like whatever the ability to be able to like take a picture, like the pictures of like your outfit in a mirror, like I suck at that. Like my daughters are so good at it. I cannot take a picture of like a cute outfit any more than I apparently can take a picture or a video of a spinning wheel and my face at the same time. So you're gonna have to choose. That's basically, and I know, I'm lovely and we all want to see my face, but we're not after much cussing and muttering and moving this camera up and down and left and right and adjusting the angle so I didn't look googly-eyed. I've come to the conclusion that I cannot film this video with my face and the spinning wheel at the same time, even though you will be able to see my dogs if I move. And say hi to the new ones. This is Lana Del Rey and Lana Del James because she lives with us. And then Jolene, of course, y'all know. So you will at least be able to see them. But what I wanted to show you today is I'm spinning, and I've already deconstructed it here a little bit, my December braid is Rambouillet, and it was this really cool, like kind of like one side kind of solid, the other side kind of marbled. I don't know, it was a weird braid. We like doing those occasionally. And so I was very excited about spinning this one. So what I'm doing, and you will see here in a moment when I move the camera so you can see the spinning wheel, um, you will be able to see I have pulled it into sections, notably these two sections of the darker block over here. I'm just going to put it aside and we're not going to deal with it right now. And then the lighter, more marbly sectioned one. And the inspiration on this one was like fir trees or, Christmas trees in the snow with like some lights and some berries. It was a whole vibe. So that was what I was going for the December braid. I love how it turned out. And if you're watching this video currently, there are a few of those left if you want to go get your own off my website. There are a couple of those left. If you're watching this at some point in the future, you're just going to have to be sad that you were not here for the December 2024 Rambouillet braid. So sorry, but go check it out. If you are watching this more currently, there may still be a couple left. I personally think it's really cool. So let me adjust the camera so you can see the spinning wheel, and then I will just talk at you, and we will make a video out of this, and you can see my dogs and you can see my yarn, and you will not see my face anymore, but I am here. So anyhow, hello. So we're back to old trusty camera angle here. So what we have, you can see this is my King Bee, which I have been spinning on a lot here lately. If you've been noticing, no, I have not gotten rid of all my other wheels. I've been spinning a lot on my King Bee because it folds up, so you can see the foot folding action here. It folds up and this part goes down into a box and you can kind of hide all of your fiber, which is important when you have here, she's gonna be mad, come wake her up. This is Lana, and she's our new little Cavalier Spaniel that I love, and she's being all soft and fluffy right now. But even though she does not look like she could be a little monster, she's definitely still in the puppy phase, so she can definitely be a little monster. And so being able to fold everything, oh yeah, see, she's interested now. Being able to fold everything up in my King Bee has been really nice. And so that has definitely, anybody with little kids or dogs can appreciate being able to fold up a spinning wheel that way. So I've been spinning, you can see I'd already started. This was the lighter, more marbled part here. And so I've just been spinning sort of a semi-worsted, semi-woolen style yarn, worsted weight. Y'all are probably tired of watching me spin this. That is definitely my go-to. I really love it. It is my comfort yarn, and it's what I most enjoy making. And the reason I chose it for this particular project is, to me, if you're making a yarn out of a fiber that is like, you really want the color work or maybe the textures, like if it was a cool textured bat, to really be the main thing, then I kind of think like the simple yarn is where it's at. Like, it lets the color or the texture really shine without having to have a bunch of fun crazy footwork or hand tricks or something to make that stand out. Or the opposite being that, if you had like maybe a very simple, like single colored natural wool, doing a chain ply or more of an art yarn with texture, or even just like a two ply, would give you more visual interest. But since this was a cool color work, I'm just going to work on it through out of my lap here. And you can see I've already got it kind of pulled into strips. But I'm just doing, and the reason I think what it's called semi and what I teach is when this is technically a worsted prep, because it is roving wool, versus a woolen prep, which would have been more of like a bat. So that's why it's called a semi, is even though I'm spinning it in a more woolen style with your fibers going this way versus flat, the prep itself is a worsted prep fiber. So I think technically we're supposed to call it a semi-woolen versus an actual woolen, but we all know I spin a lot of roving wool, and woolen or long draw, as you can see, I'm pulling it back towards my hip, is my favorite way to do it, because worsted would be more pull it forward, smooth it down, but I'm doing this kind of long draw back to my hip. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing as far as the spinning goes. So let's see, what was it I actually wanted to talk about on here today, besides just my king bee and my puppy and my semi-woolen yarns? Ramble about today was, I was just went to, I don't know, one of my New Year's resolutions is to be more involved in the local entrepreneur scene here in Knoxville. So I went to the local women in entrepreneurship meeting, which I've really, really enjoyed getting to know this group of women, and they have great meetings. And today they had a panelist on, what the panelist was on, God, how do I put this? Basically like going against hustle culture, and all of the good reasons why we should quit, reject perfectionism, and quit trying to be perfect and trying to do all the things. And as small business owners and entrepreneurs, you can totally get sucked into that. And I, as I usually am, was sitting there, and I was just like, I understand where we're going with this. Sorry, I want to kind of pull this out a little bit. So I was like, I understand where we're going with this idea of like rejecting hustle culture. But on the other hand, I am a very like fiery, forward moving person, and I don't do just being, like just sitting and breathing, and and I mean, I do a lot of yoga. I think I've mentioned that. So like, I get it, but to me, having momentum, especially as an entrepreneur, and if you are also an entrepreneur but a crafter, anything like that, I think we really strive from having that forward sense of momentum. So to me, telling me that like that was kind of bad, and that like I needed to quit wanting to be driven and achieving and competitive, and all the things that I very much am, in order to avoid burnout, which like is definitely good advice. I don't want anybody to be burning out, but myself included. And from having struggled with like panic attack issues and stuff in the past, like I definitely know that that's a real thing. But it made me think of yarn spinning, because I guess lots of things make me think of yarn spinning. That the reason I think so many of us enjoy either knitting or crocheting or spinning, and I did write about this a little bit in my book, is I think this is the perfect combination of momentum. I mean, it literally it literally has momentum and motion, here between your feet and your hands and the flyer and the wheel. Like you've got all this great motion and you're literally creating something. So it's giving you that sense of creation. And like I said, also the same analogy could go for knitting or crochet, of you're creating something, but it's in this like rhythmic way of crocheting or rhythmic way of knitting or rhythmic, especially with spinning. I think that's why so many of us find it so addictive, is it's this rhythmic creation process, but it also really lets you zone out by kind of getting you in your body. So I'm not here to say that the panelists were wrong or bad or that I disagree. I guess I'm just here as your constant armchair anthropologist that I am. I think people are wired different ways. And I think a lot of us that are attracted to the fiber arts, we definitely need and crave that level of momentum and creative spark in order to get out of our heads and in order to not feel like sick or bad or weighed down, I guess is the description that I get with it. Like a real sense of being like chained up or pinned in. I'm too wild for that, I guess. So I don't know. Those were just kind of my thoughts as they were going over all these stillness techniques or like why we should be more that way or something. And all I could think of was like, just give me my spinning wheel and that's how I'm going to zone out. Like I need to go for like a walk or do a challenging like yoga, get into like a savasana or something with yoga where you're really flowing and moving to get out of my head and to get into a sense of flow. And so it just really reminded me of yarn spinning. So that's kind of where I was at with that. So I guess that's my little bit of spinning and talking I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to make this just be an ongoing project. So I don't know. Nobody may jive with these because y'all may not want to watch me work on the same yarn project, but in different different spaces. But I liked the idea of I miss like if you had a yarn group or spinning group where you could get together and just have conversation. And I definitely wanted a way to talk about kind of the fiber arts in my life and the creative maker process, but also how it relates to like business. I mean, so many of us are creators and makers and want to run businesses, and that's definitely a dialogue I like to have with a lot of people. I kind of can't help myself if I'm ever like out to eat with anybody and they mention any sort of like whether it's a group at church or a project or they're, I don't know, want to be like the world's best Tupperware lady. Like I cannot help myself. I'm constantly trying to tell people how, give them, it might sound bad, but from my perspective, things I have learned to help them with that. So I don't know, I guess crafting and making and entrepreneurship all are very much intertwined in my life. And I don't know how to make them not be that way. So I'm just going to go with it. So anyhow, if you have any thoughts about semi-woolen yarn or cavaliers or flow or why you like knitting or spinning and if that helps you to calm your mind more so than just like sitting and trying to be like, all right, I'm going to calm. Are you also crazy? I'm crazy. I don't know. I think some of us have a lot more howling at the moon that we need to do than others. Like I am not a peaceful person. I am a I need to I don't know, run free, I guess, not be so peaceful, even though my dogs are very peaceful at the moment. So I'll let them be chill for all of us. So let me know how you feel about spinning, or if you have any questions about spinning or the king bee. Obviously, I am happy to answer technical questions as well. I feel like I've made 8,000 videos at this point in time on like, how to use a nitty knotty and how to two ply and like beginner spinning tips. Like I've made all of those. So it's easy for me to just give you the link to the video I've already made. Cause I mean, I feel like I did a good job the first time, even if like the camera was a little wacky. So, I guess I would like to make some new videos and some new directions, but, with the yarn spinning. So let me know what you think. And let me know if you have any requests. I'm happy to make videos or answer questions.